Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty game of all time. With its gripping campaign storyline, amazing game engine and movement system, polished attention to detail, and widespread critical and fan acclaim, it is head and shoulders above the rest of the iterations of this game. Oh wait, you thought I was talking about this pile of garbage? No, I was talking about this masterpiece. In this video, we'll be discussing why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty game of all time. It's been over a decade since its release, but its impact still reverberates throughout the gaming world today. The Call of Duty franchise had already seen considerable success with its first several iterations of the game, with the World War II setting captivating players worldwide. However, as the years went on, the game became stale and predictable. Fans were getting tired of the same old formula and wanted something new and something fresh. This is where the hype for the original Modern Warfare began to grow. Call of Duty 4, aka Modern Warfare, was released in 2007 when it was a literal game changer. Call of Duty 4 introduced several new and unique elements to the first-person shooter genre. It was the first Call of Duty game to be set in modern times, which allowed for a more relatable and relevant storyline. The game's single-player campaign was also structured like a Hollywood action movie, with a gripping narrative and tense set pieces that kept players engaged. This is in addition to the musical score being one of the best in the history of gaming. The multiplayer mode featured a leveling system and a customizable loadout, which added a new level of strategy and customization to the gameplay. These elements helped make Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare a groundbreaking game that set a new standard for the franchise and for the FPS genre as a whole. The landscape for gaming at the time was ripe for a game like Modern Warfare 2. Online multiplayer had already become a staple of the gaming world, and people were hungry for more. The game was also launched at a time when online video sharing was becoming more prevalent, and gamers were starting to record and post their gameplay videos online. The late 2000s and early 2010s saw a significant rise in the use of social media, particularly YouTube, to showcase video game gameplay, highlights, and trick shots. Gaming content creators became household names, amassing millions of followers and views on their channel. This allowed for a new level of immersion in the game, and players could see firsthand how other players were playing the game, which added to the overall experience. Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer mode was particularly well suited for content creation. This led to a surge in videos showcasing epic moments, trick shots, and kill streaks on YouTube. Modern Warfare 2 also played a role in the growth of esports during this time. The game's competitive scene was hugely popular, with major tournaments being held around the world and live streamed online. This led to the emergence of gaming organizations like Optic Gaming and FaZe Clan, who quickly gained a massive following on social media and became major players in the esports world. The campaign of Modern Warfare 2 was a major departure from previous Call of Duty games and was particularly unique for its time. The game's story was set in the near future where Russia had invaded the United States, and the player takes on the role of multiple characters across the globe who are fighting to stop the invasion and prevent a global war. One of the most compelling aspects of the campaign was the emphasis on character development. The game's writers took a cinematic approach to storytelling, weaving together multiple story arcs that intersected in a surprising and emotionally impactful ways. Players became invested in the fates of characters like Soap McTavish and Captain Price, who were portrayed as complex and flawed human beings rather than the one-dimensional military archetype. Another factor that made Modern Warfare 2's campaign stand out was its level design. The game's developers crafted an incredibly varied and dynamic series of levels, from snowmobile chases across frozen tundra to close-quarters combat in tight urban environments. The game's set pieces were also unforgettable, such as the infamous No Russian mission, where the player is tasked with participating in a terrorist attack on an airport. The multiplayer mode on Modern Warfare 2 was groundbreaking and influential addition to the Call of Duty franchise. It introduced several new elements that set it apart from previous games in the series, as well as other FPS games of its time. One of the most significant changes was the introduction of the killstreak system, which rewarded players with powerful bonuses for achieving a certain number of kills without dying. This encouraged players to take more risks and play more aggressively, leading to a more exciting and dynamic match. Some of the most popular killstreak rewards included the AC-130 gunship, which allowed players to rain down death from above, and the tactical nuke, which instantly ended the game in the player's favor. Another key innovation was the game's map design. The maps in Modern Warfare 2 were incredibly varied, ranging from small, tight maps designed for fast-paced action to sprawling open environments that allowed for long-range combat. Many of the maps were also interactive, with players able to activate environmental hazards like exploding cars or collapsing buildings. The maps in the game were incredibly diverse, with each one providing a unique and memorable experience for players. For example, Rust was a small close-quarters map that encouraged fast-paced action and frenetic combat. High Rise, on the other hand, was a sprawling map set atop a skyscraper, with plenty of open areas for long-range combat and sniping. Terminal was another popular map that took place in an airport, with players fighting through security checkpoints and baggage areas. Overall, the map design in Modern Warfare 2 was a key factor in the game's success, providing players with a wide variety of gameplay experiences that kept them engaged and coming back for more. The overall reception of the game from critics and fans was overwhelmingly positive. The game was praised for its graphics, sound design, and gameplay mechanics. In terms of awards, Modern Warfare 2 won several accolades, including the Best Shooter Award at the Spike Video Game Awards, Best Xbox 360 Game at the Golden Joystick Awards, and Best Online Multiplayer Game at the BAFTA Video Game Awards. One of the reasons for the game's success was its release at a time when FPS genre was experiencing a surge in popularity. Other notable shooters that came around at that time included Borderlands, Left 4 Dead 2, and Halo 3 ODST. However, Modern Warfare 2 stood out from the pack due to its fast-paced, adrenaline-fueled gameplay and its engrossing story. Critics praised the game's campaign mode for its gripping storyline and memorable set pieces. The game's multiplayer mode was also lauded for its innovative gameplay mechanics and customizable loadouts, which allowed players to tailor their experience to their liking. Modern Warfare 2 was a game that did many things right, and future iterations of the franchise could learn a lot from its success. For one, the game was incredibly well polished, with smooth and intuitive gameplay mechanics, a responsive UI, and an impressive game engine that still holds up to this day. Additionally, the game's focus on player choice and customization, whether through loadouts or killstreaks, allowed players to tailor their experience to their liking, which is a trend that we see in many successful games today. Another key factor that made Modern Warfare 2 special was its attention to detail. From the campaign's gripping storyline to the multiplayer's memorable maps and weapons, every aspect of the game felt carefully crafted and considered. In contrast, the 2022 version of Modern Warfare 2's poorly optimized game engine and UI, combined with its lackluster reception from fans and critics, serves as a reminder that the game's success is not guaranteed, even with a storied franchise like Call of Duty. Future Call of Duty games could benefit from following in the footsteps of Modern Warfare 2 by prioritizing polish, player choice, and attention to detail. By doing so, they can create a well-crafted and engaging experience that stands the test of time, much like 2009's Modern Warfare 2 has done over a decade after its initial release. In my opinion, those factors make Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 the best Call of Duty game of all time. Its impact on the gaming world cannot be overstated, and it continues to be a game that gamers worldwide hold dear to their hearts. If you made it this far in the video, I wanted to say I appreciate you watching, and if you're interested in this and future Call of Duty content, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications.